Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts for the NFL Super Wildcard Round and my picks for the 2022-2023 NFL Divisional Round. Check it out. Well, for last week, I went straight up 4-2. So, as of right now, I'm 158 in... Hold on. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I got the wrong one. I went 158, 95, and 2 overall in the year. So anyways, I'm doing pretty good with that. I just miscalculated on that. I apologize for that. Anyways, against the spread, I went completely the opposite direction. I went 1-5 and went 107, 135, and 2 overall in the year. And for the over and unders, I went 3-2-1. I'm 22, 38, and 5 overall in the year. So, anyways, not really bad. I just got to fix it against the spread on that a little bit. So, if you picked my against the spread line, I do apologize for that. Anyways, that being said, my thoughts about the Super Wildcard Round, San Francisco and Seattle. Let's kick off with that one. That game, that was pretty much a seesaw battle until halftime, until San Francisco blowing the doors open and pretty much sealed the victory for San Francisco on that one. But anyways, San Francisco with Brock Purdy in there. They're onto the divisional round, so they get to move on. So then Seattle goes home, which I'm not gonna lie, that was a great coaching job by Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. A great performance in the season. In my opinion, I think Geno Smith could be the opportunity to get comeback player of the year this year. There's definitely no doubt about that in my mind, especially when he went through for the New York Jets and everything else, and went to Seattle and put up some great numbers. Possibly maybe a Pro Bowl this year. We'll see. Anyways, let's continuing on. Jacksonville and Kansas City. Wow. This definitely put the pedestal under the wings from the Vikings and Bills game this regular season. And definitely on one of the best wildcard comebacks since the comeback from the Bills and Oilers back in 92, I believe. It definitely puts in the conversation on those definitely wildcard moments in there. Definitely was. But congratulations to Trevor Lawrence's first playoff win. Nothing like your first on that one. Definitely the first quarterback to win in the postseason out of the 2021 NFL draft class. But technically, Mac Jones was the first guy to be in the playoffs first, so technically on that. But anyways, that being said alone, that was a great coaching job. And speaking of coaches and stuff like that, Doug Peterson, he's definitely a Coach of the Year candidate because of that game alone. Never mind the regular season. He did pretty good getting that game in there. Definitely got back on the pedestal, back on their feet. And definitely the Khan's family. If you're Tony Khan and your father, you must be rocking in your seats right now with AEW being in the top seed in wrestling right now. And definitely be on the merge on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're doing well on both organizations at that point. So that is amazing. So anyways, if there's an Owner of the Year award coming in, probably the Khan family's it. So anyways, that being said, Buffalo and Miami, another great shootout on that game. I did not expect that to be happening. I thought with Tua Tagovailoa's injury, Buffalo was going to blow the doors open. Definitely not the case. I shouldn't have not switched that game to my against the spread on that one. But hey, that was a good game. Miami came up with a good fight. And now Sean McDermott and the Bills, now they get to play the Cincinnati Bengals, which that's going to be a good one to watch too. You get my pick on that one a bit. But anyways, Did Miami use up all their energy on Buffalo? Did Miami let Buffalo use all their energy on them? Or they have more coming against Cincinnati? We're going to find out in a bit. And from the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants, Kirk Cousins was Kirk Cousins again. He fooled me again. Anyways, that being said, that's all I got to tell you about that. Minnesota was a one-and-done team. They get to go home. The New York Giants, now they get to play the Philadelphia Eagles. So anyways, that being said, Cincinnati and Baltimore, very good run mark in the end, but Cincinnati's defense came up when they needed to most, and that's what they did. Now Cincinnati meets Buffalo, and that's going to be a really good game on that one. Anyways, that being said, Tampa Bay and Dallas, we might see Tom Brady's last game in Tampa Bay in a Tampa Bay uniform. He may retire, or he may go to see Josh McDaniels in Vegas. Very interesting scenario for telling me if you're Vegas, considering almost 20 years ago with the Tuck rule play. The team that the Patriots beat Tom Brady's first comeback. Well, one of his first comebacks in the postseason. And he beat the Raiders. Now, almost 21 years later, this could be the case that he can go to the Vegas Raiders. You never know. Anyways, that being said, Dallas, they get to move on. So, this is going to be a very interesting game as they continue on, as they play, I believe, it's San Francisco. So, I think that's going to be a good one on that one. So, anyways, that being said, that's my thoughts about the NFL Super Wild Card round. And let's get on to the NFL Divisional Round games. Okay, let's kick things off to one of the Saturday games between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this game is going to be a really fun one to watch. I mean, both games were outstanding. Well, Jacksonville played outstanding. They had an outstanding comeback against Kansas City, and now they get to, the Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me. But now they get to play Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be a really fun matchup to watch. This is the one match I'm probably going to be looking forward to see this weekend. This is going to be really a high-flying game. I mean, I expect this to be most high-flying games this week. Consider how all the wild card games go down. I think this is going to be a lot more intense than that. But anyways, that being said alone, I think this game is going to be a really fun one. It's going to be a lot of points in this game, to say the least. But anyways, but that being said, I mean, honestly, for Jacksonville, I've been pulling you guys all year, but I hate to break it to you, but all good things come to an end. Playing against Kansas City in Kansas City is a very tough, challenging thing to do. So, anyways, with that being said, but don't get me wrong, this is also going to be a very interesting scenario too. Two former Eagles head coaches are playing each other in the divisional round. Known Andy Reid in Kansas City, and Doug Peterson, and not too long ago when he actually won a Super Bowl with Philadelphia. So, anyways, that being said, this is pretty much a battle of a former Eagles game, as you can say the least. Well, two former Eagles head coaches going at it, so this is going to be a really fun one. And both of them, and to know that other thing too, Doug Peterson knows Andy Reid too well. So I think this is going to be a very fun one too. So I think it's going to be a little close one. But for Kansas City, all fun things must come to an end. So I'm going to have to pick Kansas City at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But keep this in mind. Doug Peterson knows Andy Reid because he was under Andy Reid's system under Philadelphia. Then when he went head coach to be in Philadelphia in his own, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Philadelphia. Yeah, that goes to show you how good Doug Peterson is. But anyways, that being said, on the line though, Kansas City is favored by 8.5 in this game. This is way too many points. Like I mentioned, Doug Peterson knows Andy Reid too well, was under his coaching tree, and now he gets to play him again. So there's a chance Jacksonville may win it. You never know. But I'm going to take Jacksonville plus 8.5 because I think it's going to be a lot closer game. Over and under is 52. I'm definitely going over 52 on this one. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Speaking of the Eagles, this is going to be a really fun one over here. The Eagles are going to be at home against the New York Giants. Nothing like the divisional rivals playing each other in the playoffs. That's always a classic right there. Anyways, that being said, I think it's going to be a lot high and flying game as well. Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts. This is all going to be a really good one. But, I'm gonna go do with a slight edge in this one because the reason why this is the similar reason why I picked Kansas City. Is the reason why I didn't tell you that is Kansas City has a much better defense, I believe. And this is why I think I'll go for the Eagles as well. I think the Eagles are going to have a much better defense than the New York Giants, but this is the divisional round. Anything could happen, especially if you're playing the division foes in the playoffs. Anyways, let's continuing on. For the Philadelphia Eagles. That's my cat. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the New York Giants in this game. On the line though, Philadelphia's favored by 7.5 in this game. That's good enough for me. I'm going to take the Eagles minus 7.5. Over and under, it's 48. I'm going to shoot for over 48. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Now, this is a rematch that was going to happen in Week 17, but it got canceled during Damar Hamlin's injury. That was in Cincinnati. Now they're in Buffalo. So this is the First game since that incident with Cincinnati and Buffalo. This is going to be a good one to watch as well. This one I expect to be high flying as well. So this is going to be a lot closer than I think it's going to be, to say the least. But the big difference in this game, Cincinnati has a much better defense than Buffalo. Buffalo, they don't have a run game. They don't have a defense since Von Miller's injury. They've been giving up at least over 20 or 30 points since Von Miller's injury. That's a huge problem on that case scenario for Buffalo. I'm not saying anything bad about Buffalo. I'm just saying that's not really good. If you don't know how to have a good defense in the playoffs, you're not going to get very far. And I think this is going to be a way for Buffalo as well. So that being said, I'm picking the upset in this one. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals over the Buffalo Bills in this game. In Buffalo. On the line though, Buffalo is favored by 4.5 in this game. I'm going to take Cincinnati plus 4.5. Over and under, it's 48. I'm going to go for over 48 because I expect Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are going to do great numbers. Same thing with Josh Allen, with Stephon Diggs. I think they're going to put some great points out of them. So anyways, last game, the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this game is going to be a much closer game, I think it is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a high-flying game that I expected the other three games are going to be. But I think it's going to be a good one to watch, too. You take it back to the 49ers and Cowboys rivalry from the 70s, from the two back-to-back NFC Championship games in the 70s with Roger Staubach in there. And don't forget in the 90s, too. And don't forget the catch moment with Joe Montana. So anyways, for Danny White in there, too, as the quarterback at that time. Anyways, and back in the 90s when they met each other in the NFC Championship game like multiple 3 times or something like that. So they had some postseason rivalry. This is definitely going to be renewed. So anyways, that being said, let's continue on. San Francisco and the defense, much better than Dallas right now. But Dak has the playoff experience, but Brock Purdy, he has the defense. So I got to go with the defense in this one. So I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers over the Dallas Cowboys in this game. On the line now, San Francisco's favored by 4 in this game. I'm going to take San Francisco minus 4. Over and under is 46. I'm going to go for under 46. All right, a couple of shout-outs this week. There's a reason there's 2. But I'm going to first off, big shout-out to Edward Lerner over here. A big shout-out to him. And I wanted to say a big shout-out to Steve Pace and Steve Brown. Stu Pace and Steve Brown from the Electric Football Show. I'd say welcome back to them from last week. So I got to see their video last week. So big shout-out to them. Good to see them back. So anyways, that being said, good luck to all your divisional games this week. And this is Andrew Warren signing off saying, rock out and eat your breakfast.